Are you looking for the best monitors for Xbox Series X / in this video we will look at some of the best monitors for Xbox Series X the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Samsung Odyssey Neo G8s 32BG85. The Samsung Odyssey Neo G8s 32BG85 is the best monitor for Xbox Series X that we've tested. It's a fantastic gaming display with an incredibly fast response time across its entire refresh rate range, ensuring a smooth and responsive gaming experience. Although the Xbox Series X can't take full advantage of its 240Hz refresh rate, it delivers an impressive gaming experience even at 120Hz. And it's fully compatible with everything the Xbox offers, including 4K at 120Hz gaming. The high refresh rate is also great if you want to connect a gaming PC, but if you prefer getting something cheaper with a lower 165Hz refresh rate, the Samsung Odyssey Neo G7s 32BG75 is an excellent option that you can often find for less. The Neo G8's picture quality stands out thanks to its impressive mini LED backlighting, which allows for fine control of the local dimming zones. It results in a great HDR experience, with bright highlights that stand out next to deep blacks and very little blooming in dark scenes. It displays a wide range of colors, and, combined with its high peak brightness, colors look vivid for a great HDR gaming experience. Number 2. LG 32GQ950B. If you want a high-end monitor but don't necessarily need all the bells and whistles of the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8s 32BG85, consider the LG 32GQ950B. It's a 32-inch, 4K monitor like the Samsung, with the main difference being that it doesn't have mini LED backlighting. It means that it doesn't offer the same great picture quality, but if that isn't important to you and your main focus is on gaming performance, it's an excellent option. It also has a lower 160Hz refresh rate, but that doesn't make a difference, as the Xbox reaches a max of 120Hz anyways. It also has remarkable motion handling, even with 120Hz and 60Hz signals. It works well with the Xbox Series X because it has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth that lets you take full advantage of the console. Its variable refresh rate, VRR, support works with most signals on the console, but it doesn't work with 1440p at 60Hz, which is a common issue with many monitors, and VRR still works with 1440p at 120Hz. Luckily, the monitor delivers lifelike images thanks to its great accuracy and wide color gamut. If you care about picture quality and don't mind something with a lower 1440p resolution, consider the LG 27GR95QE-B. It's in the same price range as the 32GQ950B but has much better picture quality and motion handling thanks to its old panel. While it also has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth and supports any resolution as it downscales 4K signals, you still don't get the same sharp images as on a true 4K monitor like the 32GQ950B. Number 3. Gigabyte M27U. If you're looking for something cheaper in the mid-range price category, check out the Gigabyte M27U. It's similar to the LG 32GQ950B, with a 4K resolution but a smaller screen. The main difference is that it has worse motion handling at 120Hz, but the response time is still quick, and motion looks smooth regardless. It supports HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, but it's limited to 24Gbps HDMI bandwidth, which is half of the LG's 48Gbps bandwidth. This means that the Xbox needs to use compression, which could negatively impact the picture quality, but 4K at 120Hz signals still work without issue. Luckily, it has a few extra features that the LG doesn't have, like a backlight strobing feature that you can use as low as 60Hz, and it helps reduce persistence blur, but it also has some flicker issues at times. If you find the 27-inch screen too small and want something bigger, the Gigabyte M32U is a similar monitor with a bigger screen. However, because it costs more for a minimal difference in performance, only consider it if you want the larger size. Number 4. Gigabyte M27Q. If you want the best Xbox Series X monitor on a budget and don't want to spend much on a 4K monitor, consider the Gigabyte M27Q. As you get into budget monitors, you'll find displays with lower resolutions and without HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. While this means budget monitors can't take full advantage of the Xbox like the Gigabyte M27U, most are still good enough for console gaming. That's the case with the M27Q as it works with any signal from the console except for 4K at 120Hz, and it even downscales for K signals, which results in a slightly more detailed image than 1440p signals. It also supports VRR to reduce screen tearing. It has slower response times than the M27U, but the motion handling is still good enough that you won't notice much blur. It has a backlight strobing feature to reduce screen tearing, but it doesn't work with 60Hz signals and causes image duplication, so if that bothers you, it's best not to use it altogether. Number 5. Acer Nitro XF243 Pbmiiprx. If you want a simple and cheap monitor to use with your Xbox Series X, consider the Acer Nitro XF243 Pbmiiprx. It has a smaller 24-inch screen and lower 1080p resolution than the Gigabyte M27Q, meaning images aren't as detailed. It also means that it isn't an ideal choice for co-op gaming, but it still has wide viewing angles and incredible ergonomics that help you share the screen with a friend sitting next to you. It's a great gaming monitor, and while its overall motion handling isn't as good as the Gigabyte, it still has a great response time at 120Hz. However, it's worse at 60Hz with VRR enabled, as there's inverse ghosting caused by overshoot, but you can disable VRR if you want better motion handling. Speaking of which, its VRR support works with the Xbox to reduce screen tearing. As it's a 1080p monitor, it works best with 1080p signals at 60Hz and 120Hz from the Xbox, but it still downscales for K and 1440p images with a 60Hz refresh rate.